Okay, so the biggest question that actually came up about our product range, and I'm sure you get this all the time, what is your verbiage around the soy and the sugar content in Complete, and why is it better than other things out there on the market?
You know, what I talk about, the first thing I talk about, I can talk about it, if I'm talking to a scientist, that's different, but the average person, I just say, you know what, food is politics. And the dairy industry in the United States, when they were threatened, so the dairy industry makes whey protein, which is so undigestible and gives you like horrible conditions in your gut. So the dairy industry, first of all, they created the whey industry from when they make cheese. They used to throw away all the protein, and then somebody got into their head, oh, wait, we can remarket it and sell it and tell, you know, people in the gym they need this protein to build muscle, which is like total nonsense. That's not true. Not only that, you can't even digest it. It creates like all kinds of stomach issues. But when the soy powders came on the market, they started to take profits away from the whey protein market. So then the dairy industry just started to really start a campaign against soy. And for as long as I've been with this company, because I think that Complete was first introduced, I think within like the first 6 months of my joining the company, I have been looking for just one clinical study showing me that whole food soy, like non-GMO, you know, like crushed edamame, basically crushed soybeans or soybeans themselves are bad for you. I have not seen one clinical study. You know, there's studies on rats using mega amounts of one protein isolated from soy, blah, blah, blah. But if I isolate and give you a mega dose that you'd never eat in a product of one component, that would, you could pick any component and it'd give you cancer. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You're not supposed to have these unnatural amounts of anything. But we're talking about water washed, crushed edamame, basically, that goes into our Complete. That's like eating soybeans. And if you think soybeans are bad, explain to me why Asians who live in Japan don't get breast cancer. And as soon as they come to the United States with the same genetics, they get breast cancer. It's because they start eating dairy. So eating dairy will give you breast cancer, but there's no research whatsoever. And then we can go into the scientific explanations of it. The phytoestrogens in soy are basically they're called SERMs, selective estrogen receptor molecules. What they do is, if this is an estrogen receptor and this is estrogen and it comes in and locks in, this can start, if you have too much estrogen binding your estrogen receptors, then this can trigger cancer. What SERMs do is they come in and they block it. So they actually protect you from cancer because they don't allow too much estrogen to come in and start those. They block it. They sit there and they don't trigger any reaction. They just sit there and block these estrogen receptors. So if you also look on my website, there's so much good data showing, and there's even like cancer institutes now that have soy as part of their protocol to protect people against recurrence of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, and all of that. So, and it's not about the fermentation. I saw that come up. It is not about the fermentation. Fermentation is, again, about the bacteria. I'm talking about the phytoestrogen molecule itself, which does not change whether you ferment it or not. This molecule sits there and it protects you from real estrogen coming in and starting harmful reactions. So it is not about I can't say it enough. It's not about the fermentation. Fermentation is about bringing in the extra bacteria from the fermented product, which has different benefits. I'm just talking about phytoestrogen itself in any form, whether it's fermented soy or non-fermented soy or whatever. As long as it's non-GMO, it's going to help you.
And so what benefits do you recommend to your clients around Complete? Has there been, I know there's a study underway currently, but has there been any studies on it in the past that you're aware of, or have you?
Yeah, so they've studied with cancer patients, so ovarian cancer patients. So this is if soy was bad, they'd never be able to study it. This was MD Anderson Cancer Center, which is one of the biggest cancer centers in America. So ovarian cancer patients have very little life expectancy. And so they have this diet that they recommend normally. It's called the WELL diet. And what you try to give cancer patients is 10 servings of fruits and vegetables in this WELL diet. So these WELL diet people came to Juice Plus company, said, we know what you're doing. We want to study your product. So they gave the placebo group, they tried to give, with the ovarian cancer patients, tried to give them 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. Very little compliance. It's really hard cancer patients don't even want to eat sometimes, With the Juice Plus group, they gave them 5 servings of fruits and vegetables and Juice Plus Complete and Juice Plus capsules. And what they found is that the Juice Plus group had higher protein in their blood, serum protein. So what happens is that cancer patients don't die of cancer necessarily. They literally wither away because the cancer cells kind of usurp all the energy from, they take up all the nutrient, they take up all the calories, they take up all the sugar. And so your body can't thrive because they're competing with cells that are growing much faster than normal cells. So what they found in the Juice Plus Complete group is that they had a higher lean body mass than the placebo group. So the Complete helped create lean body mass in the cancer group, and they had higher biomarkers of phytonutrients in their blood, which is, you want to give cancer patients fruits and vegetables. So this is why, I recommend, actually, if you really understand soy, the people that really study this, there's some, I saw a scientist who came to one of our medical conferences, and he has no affiliation with Juice Plus or anything like that. But he recommends that women in Western cultures that have dairy should actually go away from dairy and actually start taking in, like 10 milligrams of soy a day. So to protect them later on in life. So not only does the information is not only, it does not harm you. If you start giving it to young girls, you can protect them more with, my girls have 2 to 3 shakes a day, and they've grown up on this stuff. So it's really important to understand that we've studied it with cancer patients, and we wouldn't have been able to even get that research done or approved if soy was bad for you. So there's a lot.
We can read a lot more about cancer on your website, right? I'm sure I've read some of your stuff on your website before on cancer. Yeah, people were just asking if they can get more info.
Yeah.